bald-headed, Kame House outfitted, and no nose in sight, Krillin has always been a part of the adventures of Goku and his friends during the Dragon Ball series. Although we get distracted with the very powerful gods of destruction, aliens, and Saiyans, we sometimes forget about the relatable human fighters. And who do we think is the champion amongst them and the strongest of the bunch? Krillin. Krillin, much like Goku, Bulma, and a majority of the traditional Z fighters, comes from Dragon Ball, long before the ante was upped with crazy, powerful hair-changing fight transformations, power levels reaching over 9,000, and the inclusion of the Saiyan race. Our favorite Baldy, who's not the One Punch Man, is still punching, kicking, and destructo diskin. Back when our lovable, childlike monkey boy protagonist Goku was just an actual child and traveling the world with blue-haired scientist adventurer Bulma looking for those Dragon Balls, their adventures brought them to the Kame House, or Turtle House, which is a house on an island in the middle of the ocean where great fighters come to train. This is where they meet Master Roshi and Krillin for the first time. Almost immediately, Krillin had a hip-hop-like beef with Goku after meeting him. Krillin was immediately threatened by the fact that Goku was already a much stronger fighter than him. When we find out about Goku's alien heritage in the Z series, it fills in a lot of those questions as to why this child was so strong. But nonetheless, Krillin was willing to push through the challenge and become Goku's rival. However, this didn't deter them from becoming best buddies. In fact, their growing bond helped Krillin with his training. Just because he wasn't as strong as Goku didn't mean he wasn't a capable fighter who could defend himself. With these skills Krillin had, even back in Dragon Ball, he made a worthy companion for Team Dragon Ball. Even during the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, he was able to show off his progress in his battles with Goku and his battle with Chaozu. Chaozu is a child-sized warrior that has a heavy puppet or mime-like aesthetic, but that doesn't mean he should be underestimated, as Chaozu was no pushover. He was able to keep Krillin on his toes during their bout at the martial arts tournament, but Krillin showed that he wouldn't give in during a battle. During the battle with Chaozu, he proved he was capable of using his brain to distract him and defeat an enemy who had the upper hand on him by giving him math problems to solve. Although in terms of Dragon Ball, Krillin wasn't too big of a help during King Piccolo's saga. Yes, it sets up another great rivalry and arc with our main character Goku, but it's a sign of things coming for Krillin, as during this saga, he died. Goku uses his rage as a weapon to beat King Piccolo, and Krillin ends up being revived. Luckily, he was revived before the rematch between Goku and the newly reincarnated Piccolo in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Once we got into Dragon Ball Z, Krillin picks up more slack as the Z fighters face off against enemies when the Saiyans, Vegeta, and Nappa arrive on Earth. Krillin, now a little older, a little wiser, and a little more fashion sensible, is still down for the cause to fight, even after seeing the damage Vegeta and Nappa can cause. Thankfully, Krillin was there at the battleground as it didn't look good for everyone. The Z fighters buy time for Goku to arrive, and Krillin holds his own during the battles with the Saiyans and their army of Cybermen. The Cybermen, Nappa and Vegeta managed to defeat Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Piccolo, and by eternal connection, Kami. Krillin and Goku's son Gohan are the only survivors after Goku arrives to finish dealing with Vegeta and Nappa. In fact, Krillin was the only one able to move around after all the Saiyan showdowns that era was filled with. He almost got the drop on Vegeta as he was headed back to his ship. Thankfully, Goku stopped him so Vegeta could get a redemption arc. Could you imagine Dragon Ball Z without Vegeta? It all would have been thanks to Krillin. In honor of Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Piccolo, and Kami, the Z fighters head to Piccolo's home planet of Namek, in the far-off vastness of space, in an attempt to revive all of those killed by the Saiyans. Their plan to revive their friends comes from using the Namekian Dragon Balls. Willing to brave the long trip through space, Krillin heads to planet Namek with Gohan and Bulma before Goku finishes recovering to join them. But when they arrive, they see Frieza's reign. They also get reunited with a Saiyan, none other than Vegeta. Here, Krillin and Gohan work together with the Vegeta to traverse and outwit the members of Frieza's army that are patrolling the planet. Later on, both Krillin and Gohan find a Namekian tribe and have their potentials unlocked by the Elder Guru, an old and wise Namekian. Not too long after that, our heroes then engage the forces that Frieza has wreaking havoc on the planet, and they do pretty well. No one thought they had the power they had to defeat those enemies, specifically Frieza's top team, the Ginyu Force. Krillin holds his own fairly well against some of the members of the Ginyu Force, even when Goku and the leader of the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu, have their bodies swapped and must fight an enemy in the body of a Saiyan. Here, thanks to Guru's extra help with unlocking their inner potential, Krillin and Gohan do well at not dying in their fight against Goku Ginyu. Thankfully, they didn't have to stretch the fight out too long as Goku regains his body and Captain Ginyu is swapped into the body of an alien frog. We don't see Ginyu again in prominence until Dragon Ball Super. Once Piccolo joins the fray, Krillin and Gohan decide not to wait on the main character and take on Frieza in one of his transformations. Even Vegeta slides in for a few rounds. They manage to get a few hits in, especially Gohan, but this is a Krillin video. Even after surviving a major hit from Frieza's horns in one of his transformations, Krillin comes back with his Destructo Disc technique that cuts off part of Frieza's tail. All this does is just make Frieza angrier for Goku when he finally arrives. At this point, Goku pretty much takes over the fighting responsibilities. Unfortunately, after a botched Spirit Bomb attempt, Krillin is made an example of by Frieza and is killed by being lifted into the air and exploding. This sends Goku into a rage and, well, you all know what happens next. However, most of their Earth friends are revived thanks to the Namekian Dragon Ball, so Krillin is revived once again. His soul is sent to Otherworld before being revived, as he would have been revived in the vastness of space to just die again otherwise. During the year between Frieza's death and Goku's return, we see some of the Z-Fighters take part in a bout with Garlic Jr. and the Spice Boys. Krillin shows up to see everyone in an all-white suit with his girlfriend. Unfortunately, the Blackwater Mist with Garlic Jr. corrupts a lot of the characters except for Krillin, Piccolo, and Gohan. So it was time for the boys to get to work. Krillin doesn't do too well in this fight, but hey, he was just revived. Plus, at least he wasn't killed by Cybermen. After roughly a year passes, everyone learns of Goku's arrival and are terrified to see a mecha hybrid version of Frieza landing on Earth. However, the arrival of a mysterious purple-haired Saiyan and his ability to turn into a Super Saiyan makes short work of Frieza. This warrior then tells everyone of Goku's arrival, and they go to meet him. After a conversation between Goku and this purple-haired Saiyan, everyone learns of two major android threats coming for them in 3 years' time. Everyone goes off on their own to train. This doesn't prove too well, as Krillin is overpowered by the androids, but then again, mostly everyone is overpowered by the androids, except for Goku, at first. Luckily, Vegeta shows up to shut down those androids, but this proves to be fruitless as even more androids are released from their stasis. Krillin tries to give chase to the android creator, Dr. Gero, but he's killed by the newly released androids. Krillin doesn't do anything after that, but he does interact with his future wife, Android 18, for the first time, even getting a little kiss from her. No judgment, Krillin, no judgment. Earning points back, he and Trunks, the purple-haired boy from the future who warned everyone of the androids, destroy the lab where the androids were birthed. He then tries staving off another android named Cell from absorbing androids 17 and 18, but is too late. This Cell announces a world tournament named the Cell Games, where he'll possibly destroy the world if he wants. After more training, the fighters all partake in the games. Krillin shows up alongside the Saiyans to the Cell Games, ready to defend the world he calls home. Krillin manages to hold his own with the Cell Juniors, but leaves the main fighting to Gohan once he reaches Super Saiyan 2. Although he does help support Gohan in his high-stakes Kamehameha wave standoff with Cell. After Gohan utterly destroys Cell, he helps tend to Android 18 with a wish from Shenron, and something between them begins. 7 years after these events, Krillin with hair now is married to 18 and has a daughter. Krillin hasn't retired from fighting just yet, as all of our Z fighters are excited to see Goku in the World Tournament. Once the tournament begins, Krillin easily wins his match. What do you expect martial artists to do when they've been training with aliens, time travelers, and robots? However, just as the Earth needs him, Krillin leaves the tournament with the Z fighters to fight off the evil wizard Babidi and Dabura. After Babidi unleashes Majin Buu on the world, havoc ensues. Later on, after Majin Buu transforms into the much stronger form of Super Buu, Krillin takes on Super Buu by himself. He does this in an attempt to buy the rest of the heroes some time before they have to face off against Buu. He ultimately ends up as Candy, getting eaten by Buu. He's revived, thankfully, at the end of the conflict, but way to dive headfirst into the conflict, Krillin. The Super Series does a lot more for Krillin than GT did, as GT had Krillin at an older age. More time passed in that series, and Krillin was officially benched. Although we did get a cool quick fight between him and Goku in the finale. During the beginning of Super, Krillin, with hair again, has pretty much retired from fighting. Not that martial arts isn't a great way of life, but Super pretty much puts any Earthling that's not a Saiyan out of Goku and Vegeta's class. The return to the franchise involved the concept of fighting gods, but Krillin is definitely a big help during the encounters with Golden Frieza, as his will to fight returns and fights alongside Master Roshi as master and student once again, against the big wave of enemies. He makes his official return to fighting following the defeat of Goku Black, and returns to his classic bald look thanks to a haircut from his wife. He then starts training again with a new and improved Goku, as more threats need the Z fighters in tip-top shape. This is especially helpful and convenient convenient because the Tournament of Power is right around the corner. He trains hard for the tournament and works with Master Roshi to take down enemies using a powerful triple Destructo Disc attack. He even saves 18 from being eliminated from the tournament. What a gentleman we have on Universe 7's team, unlike Goku. Unfortunately, while hyped up and overly excited about his successes in the tournament that has begun, he's ambushed, knocked out of the ring, and eliminated from battle. That doesn't stop him from cheering on his friends, no matter how dumb of a move he made. And we get another look at the famous attitude of Beerus, watching Krillin get eliminated so soon from the competition. So he's Master Roshi trained, Namekian enhanced, married to a powerful android, and will still train to help the Earth. This sounds like the makings of one of the world's strongest heroes for sure. Ultimately, Krillin is one of the humans throughout the series who's willing to show up for his friends and do battle, even if it means he'll probably die. And we know he's died a lot, but that doesn't take away from the work he does for the Earth. Learning techniques from other worlds and having his potential unlocked puts him at the top of the human pecking order, unless Mr. Satan shows up at the end to take all the credit for someone else's work again. Hopefully not. Krillin is definitely going to be exciting to watch in future episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and we can't wait. What's your favorite Krillin moment? Do you prefer him bald or with hair? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more cool anime videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.